next chapter under sound is going to be sonic boom. Okay, so let's see what this sonic boom is all about. Sonic boom is something which happens when the sound source travels faster than the sound. Okay, now for example, so if you take sound, the speed of sound is 330 meters per second. When there are certain objects which can travel faster than that speed, that particular speed, then this sonic boom will be created. When I say sonic boom, it is actually a loud sound being created, a loud sound. The reason for this loud sound being created is this. Now, when an object travels at such a speed, what happens is the air particles, the pressure, the density of air particles suddenly rapidly change. So, due to this rapid change of pressure, density of air particles, a big sound is formed. That is how the sonic boom works. But for you to understand the sonic boom better, let me lay out the basic foundation as to how it begins. Now imagine there is a sound source. Okay, I will use a dot for the sound source, and that, let's say that sound source is at rest. So if the sound source is at rest, now the sound source is at rest, it is off. It can be so maybe let's say it's a siren. It's turned off. Once you turn on the siren, sound waves will be created everywhere, like this. Everywhere in all directions, sound waves will be produced. So let me draw the propagation of sound waves. This is how it will be. Exact concentric circles. These should be concentric circles which move. Now I can draw more circles, but I'm going to stop here. Concentric circles, right? Now let's say the sound source is moving now. Okay, the sound source is moving. I will use two letters. One is for the speed of the source, sound source, and the other one is for the speed of sound. I'm using C for speed of sound and V for speed of the sound source. All right. Now let's imagine what will happen if this sound source moves to the right. So when the sound source moves to the right, Okay, now it's at rest. Now it's moving to the right. It can move in three ways. One is it can have a speed less than the speed of sound. Second one is it can have a speed equal to the speed of sound, and the third one is it can have a sound greater than the speed of sound. Okay. So three cases. Let's see how the sound waves are going to be formed. This is what happens when the speed of source is less than speed of sound. You can see it's actually, it should be in motion. This diagram should be in motion. The sound waves will be traveling to the right. I will try to share some animation so that you will get a better idea. You can see the gap between the circles in the right side is smaller, but the gap between the circles on the left side is greater. This is not the first time you are seeing this. I think I drew a similar diagram when we started to learn about Doppler's effect. I hope you can remember that, the introduction to Doppler's effect. Okay, right. Then let's see what will happen if the speed of sound is equal to the speed of sound source. This is what happens when the source is moving exactly at the speed of sound to the right side. I have indicated in an arrow. In this case, the source is moving to the right. Here, the source is not moving. All right. This is how the wave fronts are going to appear. They will be, what do you call that? The edges on the right side will be, all the edges will be meeting at one point. Here it was not like that, right? The next one is going to be our sonic boom. That is when the speed of sound source is greater than speed of sound. Let's see how that's going to appear. This is what happens. You can see the circles are not inside each other. The wavefronts are out now because the source is moving really fast. All right. So when you connect all those circles, these are not actually circles. If you see it properly in 3D, these are actually spheres. Do you agree with me? Because when you take a sound source like this, it can go this way, this way, this way, this way, like everywhere, no? Like this. So these are actually spheres. So when you combine all these spheres, what you get is a cone. Do you agree with me? See if you can agree with me. When you connect all these edges, you will get a cone like this. All right. So I hope you have seen this cone kind of formation created behind fast moving jets, supersonic jets. All right. And in movies and all, when they show these bullets, behind the bullet you will see a cone like this. All right. So these are some examples for sonic boom. This is what sonic boom is about. A loud sound will be created. When is it formed? When the speed of sound source is greater than the speed of sound. So the next part is going to be very important. Normally they give you statements and they will ask for examples for sonic boom. Now you can obviously say the loud sound heard when a supersonic jet travels. Now this is called supersonic speed. Okay, supersonic speed. This is sonic. supersonic, subsonic. All right. So supersonic means above, right? Sub means below that, something like that. So one example I said was the loud sound heard when a supersonic jet travels. Second one, a loud sound heard before when a bullet is shot. Now I hope you have seen in these movies and all, before the sound is heard, the bullet will reach the person, something like that, because bullet travels very fast. Bullet travels faster than the sound. Okay, so that's sonic boom created. And second one, there this kind of waves are created when now see, let's imagine you are looking from top and this is a boat which is traveling really fast on water. Okay, then behind that boat these kind of waves will be formed. That is also an example of sonic boom. And another example is that I hope you have observed during parahalas, what happens is there's this person with a bull whip crackers. They have this we say in Sinhala kasakara, right? So when they crack the whip, it creates a very loud sound. You know what a whip is, right? The gadget they have in their hands, the long stuff to control horses and everything. So when they crack the whip, you'll hear a loud sound. That sound is created because of the sonic boom, because the edge of the whip travels really fast, faster than the sound, so a loud sound is created. So likewise, it has something to do with speed. If you want to figure out examples, the object they're talking about should be traveling at a very high speed. So this is where sonic boom is all about. So we call this cone the cone created, we call it the Mach cone. In your syllabus you are supposed to know this only qualitatively, but I'll just give you some quantitative aspects as well. Let's discuss that quantitative aspects as well. So now this is that cone created, the cone here, I've drawn it, only the cone without the wavefronts. So this is angle, right, theta. That angle is created like this. This angle theta is what we call the Mach angle. It's called the Mach angle, and there's an equation for Mach angle, not directly for theta, but for its sine value. Sine theta of this Mach angle is equal to speed of sound divided by speed of sound source. If you want me to make it simpler, we have used two symbols, speed of sound source, so it's going to be c divided by v. Okay, right. Can actually prove it, but I don't think we will need to waste time. If you just have to create this triangle, and then you have this. Okay, you have this, and then this is that theta, angle theta, and this is 90 degrees. So you have to divide this distance by this distance to get the speed of sound. This distance is the distance traveled by the source. This distance is actually the distance traveled by the sound. When now initially the source was here, now the source has gone here, right? The source has gone here. Then by that time the sound would have traveled this much distance. That's how its equation is obtained. But forget about the derivation. You don't have to know. Even this might be a little too much for you, but it's safe to just remember this. This is how you find the theta. So theta is going to be sine inverse of this part, c over v. You can use this equation only for this case, when the sonic boom is created. Supersonic, only for supersonic waves. These are called the supersonic waves. And there's another number we use. We name it capital name. It's called Mach number. Okay, so Mach number is given by this equation. Capital M is equal to 1 over sine theta. That is the equation for the Mach number. Okay, and now we know sine theta is a value which is always less than 1. So M is a value which is always greater than 1. Sine theta is always less than 1. That means M is a value which is greater than 1. This is when supersonic waves are created for this case. All right. So these are the things you have to know when it comes to sonic boom. Qualitative analysis is enough, but these waves, they always give and ask questions. Now I have drawn these waves when the source is moving to the right. When the source moves to the left, you have to just consider the opposite of this. This is how the wavefronts are going to look when the source is moving to the left, just the opposite of this. And this is when the source is not moving at all. So there are 7 types of graphs, 7 types of diagrams, the wavefronts propagate. This is all you have to know when it comes to sonic boom. And don't forget about the examples for sonic booms to be created. Yeah, I think that's it.